well, we're going out to, Fort Portal. Let's see what Fort Portal is about, and then catch you all later. Here's the outfit of the day. I made this on my hair. My friend is over there going already, so say hi. Yeah, so this is the outfit of the day. All right, so we got on the road at around 6:30 a.m. We started our journey from Kampala to Fort Portal City in Toro Kingdom. Well, we can't wait to see what Fort Portal City actually has for us. Well, like I usually say, what is a road trip without a roasted plantain and a piece of roasted chicken? Well, here we actually call it gonja, and it's a very good delicacy that keeps you going. You can keep chewing on it for quite a long time. Well, get that next time you're having, a road trip. It's a very nice delicacy here in Uganda. And what is a road trip also if you don't take pictures right in the middle of the road? Like, what? Well, they're very interesting pictures, but very hard to take because trucks keep passing. I think you saw my friend running over there, but the pictures always turn out beautiful. That's the most interesting bit. Well, we got back to the road and started our journey. Well, it was lots and lots and lots of green, I must say. So much of the vegetation in this part of the country is really green, and it has been preserved. That was a very beautiful thing because the sceneries are just so amazing. You just keep looking at these hills that are having green, and it just keeps you wondering what you're going to see, where you're going, because it just keeps getting better and better as you keep going. Well, that was really, really beautiful to watch. Well, now on this road, we had already entered Fort Portal City, and we were already loving it. I must say, this city is really green. Like I said earlier, very green. So everywhere you're going to be looking, you're going to be seeing lots of trees and green and etc. It was not really packed during the daytime, I must say. I'm not sure because maybe it was a holiday time, Easter season, but then it was not as packed as such. It got quite busy in the evenings, I think, when people were now getting out to start partying and all, but then during the time it wasn't as busy. I liked that the terrain was really hilly, so it was so easy for you to see beautiful features here and there. So you can see the roads were actually clean. That's one thing that I really, really loved, and there were also nice roads, not so many potholes. So here we were right in the middle of Fort Portal City. They had quite a number of shops going on. There were banks, so you wouldn't really hustle so much. You need to find an ATM. That pink house over at the top is the King's Palace. Yo, the king literally sits there and he's watching over his city. Well, that was a beautiful and nice ad that I actually liked. Very authentic. Well, there is this lion in the middle of the city. That is, I think, their symbol that you're now in Toro Kingdom. A lion symbolizes fierceness, the king of the jungle, the Lion King. Anyways, one addition that I really liked about this city is that it is surrounded by these hills. So you're basically looking around at a far distance. You will see these hills that are surrounding the city. So it's basically like you're in a small bubble right there in the middle, which was a very nice ad for me because you're having a beautiful scenery. Fast forward, we went over to our hotel to check in and then have an activity to do. We were there by like around 2 p.m, which I really liked because we had time to at least do one of the activities. Yeah.
It was at this moment that she knew.
Well, fast forward, we went to visit amebere nyinamwiru caves, which is a very famous tourist attraction site in Fort Portal. It is famous for having breast-like features growing in one of the caves. Well, legend has it that this place actually had a king who was foretold that his grandson was going to succeed and overthrow him at the throne. So in order to prevent this, he decided to cut off his daughter's breast so that men find her unattractive and then she can't have child to succeed him. Thumbs down, man.
So these two features continue to grow as the stalagmites goes upwards, the tights
Into the forest we go so that we can look at these beautiful formations. Science explains them differently according to some chemical formations. I'm not a scientist, but anyway, these chemicals do form and then they cause these features to grow that look like breasts. Well, they're also whitish in color, which makes them look like they're having milk coming out of them. So, hiking up. This is the jungle part of amebere nyinamwiru. Yeah, this is a real adventure. I liked that this forest actually had birds. They even have bees somewhere, so you actually have to be very quiet in order not to get stung by a bee or to disturb the ecosystem. Okay, more to this place, they have a waterfall, so we are going to watch it. Like, what? Wow. Their own shoes. Yo, like I'm already here. This scenery, whew, breathtaking. So to think that you walked all through those woods just to look at this is actually very relaxing and very, very satisfying. So you're basically connecting with nature, the birds, the fresh air, the water is very clear. The pictures here are very, very beautiful and so worth it. So here we get to see the stalagmites and stalactites that are very young, well growing. They are white in color, which explains why legend actually thinks these are nyinamwiru's breasts, I think, because of they look like milky substances coming out of them and dripping. So these have formed over time. If you get a closer look at them, some look like the dogs breasts. These dogs are believed to have been guarding the LiQWYD's cows, and then others look like breast-like features, nyinamwiru's breasts that were thrown in this cave right here, and then others look like the cows' udder. Well, these cows were the LiQWYD's cows that they were actually guarding. So right here we get to see the lake, which is believed to be where the LiQWYD's disappeared into. Okay, well, this place actually has lots of legend to it. We're hiking, so we are going all the way up that volcanic hill, and then while we are up there we're able to see all the others, and then this is the lake. It's called Kibale Lake, in which the LiQWYD are believed to have disappeared from. So yeah, so we are basically hiking all the way up these volcanic hills, and then over there we can have a beautiful view of all of the other crater lakes at the at the bottom, and also look at the other hills up there. One of the most tasking things I've ever done. Jesus. Okay, I'm almost reaching. I can already see the view's already looking good. First of all, I'm out of breath. My knees are hurting. I made it to the top. Woo! Guys, this is amazing. It's the one.
So they have made 1,650 meters above sea level.
Yo!
It's not easy.
We made it. Strong legs, a whole legs. No need for gym, just come here. Thank you, Robert. I swear to God, climbing that hill was so hard. We needed to have this victory dance because what? It was so tiring. Some people actually give up, like along the way. But the fact that we made it, we needed to make that victory dance indeed. Yeah, we used this song that is really famous at this time in Uganda. It's a nice song to actually dance to. Anyway, fast forward, after our dance we went back to our hotel, slept during the night, and then we were ready for the next day. This place has lots of green. Even the hotel where we were had lots of green around it. So this is day 2 of our adventure, and I was already loving it and feeling like a fortportal champion. Champion to mean someone who knows everything about it. Anyway, so it was like around 7 a.m. in the morning. Went out. I like this hotel because they had loads on the package. They had a swimming pool, they had sauna. It was nice. It was a nice environment to live in. So basically had this morning swim and then getting ready for the next adventure. Semiliki, we are coming. Well, once we were ready, we then headed over to have some breakfast and then head over to our next. So how do I say my name is Amoti? Amoti. Welcome to Fort Portal. Well, back to the road, and now we are heading over to Semiliki National Park, which is well known to have the male and the female hot springs of nature and its wonders. The terrain over here is very, very hilly, and as you can see, people over here do a lot of agriculture. Well, agriculture in Uganda is one of the real estate types of real estate in Uganda, because it's very common out here. Very many people over here in Uganda do a lot of agriculture. You can see over on the slopes of the mountains, people are doing their farming, and since the soil is very fertile on the slopes, so this is basically the Riftvalley. By the way, we are driving right next to the Riftvalley. It's a very, very steep slope, so some of the parts that we were driving in were actually very scary. Like if you look down, like wow. Well, this is the Riftvalley, actually. Very beautiful scenery. People stop over here to take pictures, so we stopped as well in order to take some. This, I feel like this scene would totally suit a very good, beautiful country music song. Very amazing. So we met these guys that said, oh, we want to take pictures with you. So we're actually taking pictures, and well, what is a road trip if you do not take a jumping picture on the streets? That would be a very boring one. Signed, stamped, and done. Finally did take the jumping picture. So anyway, some of the parts of this place were actually very rocky, but then that's nature. Amazing how it actually has green growing even on these rocks. So anyway, we made it to Semiliki National Park, and while we were there, Airtel sent me a message saying welcome to the Democratic Republic of Congo. So it is basically very, very close to Congo. There was this animal over here. Is it a lizard or something? I fear those guys. In my language they call it eti. In Uganda and koge.
Oh, it's chwa.
Chwa. Okay, so we started trekking through the woods in order to go see the hot springs. So legend has it that actually these hot springs, there was a man who appeared in this village years ago. Then these people took him in, they started staying with him, and then one day he went out hunting and he never came back. So I think he got a wife that actually also went out to look for him, and she never came back as well. When they went out looking for them, they found the man's clothes on the male hot springs, and then they found the woman's clothes on the female hot springs, and they were nowhere to be found. So they believe that they actually disappeared in those hot springs. Well, that's legend. And then the science also explains it differently, that there's some chemicals that form in the water. Like I said earlier, I am not a scientist, so I don't know how these things form. But anyways, the guide actually was explaining to us that these chemicals are the ones that form this water to actually boil like this. So here we were at the female hot springs, and the water over here is 100 degrees Celsius. You can see some eggs are being boiled, and they will actually get ready. Wow, nature is just so beautiful. If you look at these, you definitely accept and say that God is a wonderful, wonderful artist. So this is the female hot springs. The temperatures here are very hot.
They used to sleep in this water to heal from diseases.
It is too hot, you can't sleep.
So which one did they used to sleep in?
But if you have seen some other cliques, they could normally combine them. You may have seen that one on Chitagata.
Okay.
But here basically the water is very hot.
It's too hot.
But it serves the same purpose. It smells a lot of sulfur. That's an indication there's too much high.
Well, it's a beautiful scenery for these, pictures as well. The water is very hot, so while you're over here you have to be very careful. So by the way, the locals actually know these hot springs as Sempaya and Nampaya. So we were actually looking for this place. They almost lost, but then we kept on asking for Nampaya and Sempaya, and they kept on directing us. So if you do come out here and you're kind of lost, just look out for Nampaya and Sempaya. Ask them, I'm going to Nampaya or I'm going to Sempaya. Well, here I was actually trying to make some artistic poses where it looks like I'm pouring the water out, but it's going upwards. Anyway, so we went back to Trek and find our way to the male hot springs. This is very beautiful. Nature is actually very amazing. So if you see climate activists like Vanessa Nakate trying to fight for the climate, preserving nature and all, well, they're doing a very, very amazing job, and we should be as one and fight to protect the environment so that the climate remains the same and we can serve these beautiful sceneries for the future generation that is to come out there. So anyways, we were at the male hot springs. The water here is extremely hot. It's actually 85 degrees Celsius, which is very hot as well. It could burn you if you touched it. Not as hot as the female hot springs, because for them they are 100 degrees Celsius, but equally 85 degrees Celsius is hot. Well, this male hot springs actually is more like a calm hot lake, a very calm hot lake compared to the female hot springs. Anyway, so after this activity we went back over to our hotel, slept, and then we were ready to go back home. This is the next day. Now on our next day we were now going to use the Mbarara route to go back, and we passed by this forest in Kibale National Park. They have lots of monkeys. This was amazing. We felt blessed that we actually were able to look at them, just seeing them being themselves. This was us humans thousands of years ago. Okay, so until we evolved and all. Well, it was a very beautiful scenery. We felt blessed that we were actually able to see them, because we didn't plan on seeing them. But then it was a very beautiful scenery. They are basically connecting with nature, being themselves, having family time, cleaning themselves, just basking in the sun. Well, aren't monkeys just as beautiful?
Wow, this is so beautiful.
Naye mama laba akaana nga katini
Wabukona
nomala okatomera eri bw'oba ofuluma
can never get enough of wildlife. It's always beautiful just seeing them over being themselves. So there was this Kanyuchu visitor center that has chimpanzee tracking, basically bird watching, and you basically are looking at their way of lives, their habitation, and etc. So if you want to come and have these activities going on, come visit this place. I think you'd have a very beautiful experience, since there are quite many in this forest. Yeah.
Yo, this place is fire. Okay, YouTube, we have seen quite a number of these guys. So much fun.
Well, I didn't want this trip to come to an end, but anyway, we had to get back home and get our lives going again. So that was it basically about the trip. I think you can have a spot of the equator over there. So the trip was very amazing. Make sure to go visit fortportal if you want to see all of these beautiful sceneries, the nice terrain, look at the vegetation. This is the place for you to go. So until next time, guys, stay safe and like this video. Bye.